On day 24, we leave the Columbia Hotel and head into downtown London. We'll see St. James Palace, the Mall, St. James Park, Buckingham Palace, the Royal Mews, Westminster Arms Pub, the Cabinet War Rooms, Westminster Abbey, Parliament, drive up to Trafalgar Square, visit the Texas Embassy, and Her Majesty's Theater. We take the bus downtown to see the various sights. The St. James Palace is actually the official residence of the King and Queen of England. Currently, Prince Charles lives here. Even the Royal Mailman travels around by carriage. And then looking down the mall, at one end is Buckingham Palace, and at the other end is Admiralty Arch and Trafalgar Square, where we came from earlier. Deborah waited in the park, and then we looked around St. James Park and its beautiful setting in downtown London. Then off to Buckingham Palace, I think I see Princess Deborah. This is where the Queen Elizabeth currently lives. It's landscaped beautifully around it. We're here to see the changing of the guard. We were able to see the changing of the actual guards getting ready for the big ceremony. We'll stake out our place at the Victoria Monument up front, where we can see the bands and soldiers marching. Victoria was one of the more powerful queens. As we're there, we see carriages come by. These are the ministers from the Seychelles coming to present their papers to the Queen. The band marches down to St. James Palace to get ready for the ceremonies. The horse guards start to gather. And then the ceremonies began, right in the middle of heavy traffic there in London. The old guard marches into the courtyard. Then comes the new guard marching in from their direction to change. This is an Irish regiment with their Irish wolfhound.
How big it is.
Then off we go to the Royal Mews. This is the working stable for the royal family. They have their horses here and also their carriages, including the famous golden coronation carriage. They also keep their Rolls Royces here. Different carriages are used at different times for different events. Then on to the Cabinet War Room. This is where Churchill directed World War II from underground before heading to Westminster Abbey. We'll attend an evening song service here. This is where many of the famous people are buried, kings and queens, and also poets and authors of various kinds. We'll see the coronation chair where the king sits for coronation. And then on for a look at Parliament before heading down Whitehall to Trafalgar Square. We then go to the Texas Embassy where we'll have something to drink and watch a little demonstration, for after all, this is the capital of England. And then on to Her Majesty's Theatre for the Phantom of the Opera. And then another nighttime look around Trafalgar Square before heading back through Piccadilly Circus on the bus, and a good night in the hotel.